Hi, my name is Neil. Welcome to my channel. So today is the finale of the first week of the series How to Hotlap. As you know, this week we were in the Weathertech Raceway Laguna Seca. We had already tried 4 different road cars. So there's the Lotus Elise Supercharged, then there was the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio, then there was the 991.1 generation Porsche GT3 RS, the 911 GT3 RS, and finally yesterday we tried the Ferrari LaFerrari. So that covers all the road cars, and on the last day we were supposed to take a racing car around the track, and here we are. So today we are driving a Nissan GT-R Nismo GT3. This car was debuted in 2012. It has competed in a number of GT3 class series to quite some success. It has got quite some podiums. So today we are going to drive this car. First I am going to have a 5-lap race with 7 of the exact same cars to find out what a competitive lap time in this car at this track looks like. Then we are going to go hot lapping, where we go on a solo session for a few laps chasing down the fastest lap time that we managed during the race. Then we get to the breakdown, where we discuss the technical details like every braking point, turn in, exit, stuff like that from the fastest lap that we managed during the hot lap. Right now, join you at the end of the race. Alright, race results are here, and the time we will be looking to match or beat during the hot lapping is a 125.755, which was done by car number 96, the one that came in second place. That car also took purple sector in sector 1 and sector 3. I took the fastest sector time in sector 2 by about half a second. Yeah, and I was beaten by half a second in both sector 1 and sector 3. Also, my fastest lap time was a 126.2, just below half a second slower than the fastest lap here, the 125.755. Although if you look at the times, all of those times are within mid 25s to mid 26s. So yeah, moving forward, that's what we will be looking to match. In fact, look at the last lap times here. Few of those cars are in the low 127s, and most of those, in fact all of those, are covered between mid to high 126s. Anything below mid 126 is a pretty good time. Fine, with that out of the way, let's go hot lapping. Alright, here we go, starting the first lap. So like I always say, the first lap is going to be the slowest of all, because the tires need a lap of time to warm up, and that's especially true in case of these slick tires. So for those of you who don't know, slick tires are basically those you see on any racing car. They don't have any pattern on them whatsoever, so it's all rubber. In a dry circumstance like this, they provide the ultimate grip, but trust me, if there is any sort of moisture on the track, you don't want to be in a car that's running on slicks. So a couple of words about this car. Like I said, this car was debuted in 2012 to compete in a number of GT3 class races. This car saw a fair share of success, getting a few podiums here and there. This uses the same RB26 DETT engine from the regular GT-R, the Nissan GT-R, the road car. So that should mean this has a 3.8 liter twin turbo V6. This produces roughly 550 to 600 horsepower and around 600 Newton meters of torque. So the GT-R, at least the older models, this is the R35 generation. We're talking about the R32 generation here, was so dominant in racing that its success earned it a nickname, Godzilla. And even though the GT-R has lost its dominance since then, that Godzilla nickname has still stuck around to this day. So you might be asking, yesterday we checked out the Ferrari that had 950 horsepower. Why are we back in a 550 horsepower car? And the answer is, the whole point of a GT class race car is not its straight line speed. It's what it does in the corners. So as you can see, this car manages to carry way higher speed into and out of the corners than the Ferrari ever could. Reason being, the slick tires and a huge focus on aerodynamics. That is exactly why this car is just around half a second slower than that beast of a Ferrari around the same exact track. Despite being about 400 horsepower down on power. This is already the 4th lap and we're nowhere near the target time. So I'm going to shut up and concentrate while you look at the rest of the session. Right, solid last lap. That's enough. Now we shall move on to the breakdown, but before that, I want to show you something. Let's look around the car a little bit. So I was talking about why this car with 400 less horsepower than the Ferrari is just as quick basically around the track. Look at these bits here. On the front, this is a splitter. These are called canards. Look at this giant rear wing over here. So these are meant to provide downforce. The tires, as you can see, are slicks. So obviously the tire provides more grip the more you pressurize it down onto the road surface. Right now the car is standstill, so the force pushing the car down onto the road is the weight of the car itself. All these pieces that I showed you, along with some clever engineering underneath the car that we can't exactly see, all this combine to provide downward force onto the car by virtue of the air passing over the car itself. Or you can imagine it as the opposite of the effect an aeroplane uses to take flight. It uses lift, just invert that and you get downforce. The splitter here works in slightly different way. So basically what it does is pushes air underneath the car, which has a smooth surface, and you notice how close to the ground this car is, how little the ground clearance is. That's the point. So a bit of a physics lesson here. So the basic idea is the lower the cross section of an area to allow air to pass through it is, the greater the velocity of air through that area and the lower its pressure, making the air that's passing underneath the car having a lower pressure than the rest of the atmosphere, meaning again downforce. That lower air pressure is sucking the car right into the ground, thus providing more grip. So that is why a racing car with 400 horsepower less than a road car is just as fast around any track. Now let's get to the breakdown. Right, flying down the main straight, going across the line to start the lap, flat out through turn 1. Coming up is turn 2, the Andretti hairpin. Brake hard right at the white line just before the marker 3. Hold your brakes until you start turning in. release as you turn in your car, and mid-corner, gently start accelerating as you floor the throttle at the apex. Racing towards turn 3, here you want to brake just as you pass marker 2, give it a short but firm dab. At the apex, gently start accelerating and floor the throttle as your car straightens out. For turn 4, brake just before marker 1, give it a short dab, release and start accelerating even before hitting the apex, and floor the throttle as you exit the corner, moving towards turn 5. Brake right at marker 2, release the brakes as you turn in, and after you go past the apex, gently feed in the throttle as you race towards turn 6. Again at marker 2, give it a short but firm dab as you accelerate, hitting the bank section at the apex. Moving towards turn 7, where we brake hard just where the curves on the right side start, right there, getting the car ready for turn 8 and 8A, the corkscrew. While taking the tight left-hander, take a wider line particularly for this car as you turn in towards the right-hander and floor the throttle towards turn 9. Give it a short but firm dab and gently start accelerating as you approach the apex. Floor the throttle at the apex. Moving towards turn 10, hit your brakes right at marker 2, release as you turn in, hit the banked section at the apex as you start accelerating gently, flooring the throttle at the exit. For turn 11, the last corner, again brake hard at marker 2, start turning in as you release the brakes and start accelerating at the apex as you straighten the car. The combination of the short braking zones of the Lotus, the straight line speed of the Porsche, and cornering speeds only this car can manage means this car crosses the line at a blistering 125.382, virtually the same as the Ferrari. So that's it for today. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment box below. Also comment down below what tracks you will want to see in the future. Also, while you're down there, hit your favorite buttons like, share, subscribe and the bell notification icon, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, drive hard, drive safe, take care.